There are three very big reasons that as a light worker, you have so much fear and inhibition around being seen and heard. Today, I want to break it down for you to give you that awareness and help you move on. My name is Rebecca Abraxas. I'm a spiritual life coach, a metaphysical minister, and a sound therapist. So the first reason that keeps you inhibited and keeps your ego protecting you from living out your soul calling, feeling stuck, blocked, life feeling empty, is because you have this lineage wound. Many of us have this from the burning times. We haven't processed that fear, that trauma, that wounding around the burning times for speaking up, doing things differently, being weird, being witchy. We were burned at the stake. Many of us do not want to live that again. We have this deep unconscious remembrance of it. That fear is inhibiting you from stepping in the present moment in that same way that you were asked to step in back then in the burning times. But it didn't go so well then. How do we get over that? I'm going to tell you that in just a moment. But the second fear that gets us every time, that gets us light workers every time, is that light workers, we have a big mission. We have a soul calling that is not usually to go be an accountant. That's not usually to go be a doctor or a lawyer. It's usually something that is outside the box, that the collective doesn't really understand. So we are going to be judged for it. Judgment is that primordial wound of the root chakra when we came in and we had to thrive and survive with this tribe that we didn't know. We felt so separate, thrusted into a physical embodiment. That root wound and trauma sticks with us because any kind of judgment would mean that we wouldn't survive. So that's what that second fear of doing something big out of the box brings up for us. And it's real and it's big and it stops us in our tracks. But the ego does not want to be judged. Judgment to the ego and not fitting into the ego feels like suicide. It feels awful. So this big soul calling, this Dharma mission, this ministry you have calling to you to use your voice is being shut down by the ego. And the ego keeps manipulating you by saying, oh, but remember this, remember this. It was so scary. It was so scary. So it protects you by inhibiting you. And so your soul calling feels like it's just on the verge, but it's not clear and you feel stuck. The third one is perfectionism. If we can't be perfect, then we don't want to do it at all. We feel like we're an imposter. If we can't live perfectly our whole existence, then we're being an imposter. And that, my friends, is silly because as humans, we're never going to be perfect. But behind the veil of the human is the truth of ourselves. We are whole, we are love, we are complete, we are peace. So step into that massive, imperfect action and let love lead the way. So what do we do about these three fears? How do we get over them? Well, one, just knowing them here, just knowing these three fears brings up awareness. Oh yeah, and you start putting the pieces together. Awareness is that first step. The second step is going to be acknowledge, right? It's stepping more fully into that awareness, acknowledging, yeah, these are the feelings I have. And it's all okay. It's okay to feel this way. And then the third thing you want to do is process it. How do you process it? Well, you're doing really good with growing awareness, acknowledging it. So processing it just means that you digest those feelings. And one of the things that I love to do is to digest and process it with the voice. So if those three fears bring up so many familiar feelings, use your voice to meet it. So here's the feeling, and then match it with your voice. Start sounding out, humming, groaning, just giving attention to these feelings with your voice processes the energy. There's room for all of it. And in the field of love, all of it exists because all of it is part of the oneness. Love can hold it all. And just processing it so it's not affecting and influencing your life in a negative way. So that's processing. Then the next step is to embody the truth of you, which is love. And how do we do that? Embody the truth of love by just naming what you are. I am love. And asking your higher self to process this misperception that these fears are you. You see, the ego wants you protected by creating resistance and inhibitions, which is going to make you feel stuck and feel like empty inside. The ego is happy with that. But there's another way to walk this path of soul calling protected. And that's walking it in the field of love. That's like walking through the ocean as if the waters are parted. You know, that story back in the Bible, I'm going to trust and I'm going to walk forward. Love has my back. And as you have that certainty, the waters part. And you walk right through to the other side of that ocean to get to where you need to be, completely protected, but following your soul calling. Imagine that story every time you want to follow your soul calling, but you feel scared. Remember that in the Bible, they walked toward the ocean and with certainty, knowing love would protect them, the waters parted. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. That might be a parable, that might be true, who knows, but it's a great visual of when you want to walk into your soul calling just with the certainty of love, the energies part so that you can go forth. Now, the ego does not have your back that way. It would have you turn around from that ocean and run the other way without any trust in your intuition, your soul calling, or any of the awareness that you have around your bigger mission. So, my friends, are you going to follow the ego's fear, or are you going to follow the love that is you, that created you? So to embody that love, again, we can use the voice. You can think of the wholeness and love you are, and then you can let out a sound that marks that. Let that just fill the whole body and field. You are it. And this is something that helped me today in my meditation, is that we think about embodying love, right? Filling this body up with love, the wholeness that we are. But here's a different take on that that'll help you. You are whole and love. Let the body embody into that. So it's a little different take. Because if we see ourselves as a body, then we want to embody Christ consciousness. But that makes the body more real than the love that you are, right? So just know that you are love. You are the expansiveness. And let the body be the secondary and embed into that love. So that is a way to really come into the embodiment of who you are and let this body follow suit. Let's remember these three things. Let's recap. And if you need some support around this, I'd love to help you. I offer free breakthrough calls. You can find that link in the descriptions. So let's recap. Number one fear is, and these aren't in specific orders, but one of your fears is of the burning times, that if you speak up, speak out, you're going to be tortured. Number two is that you have a huge soul mission and there's a lot of fear around being judged and not surviving it. And number three is that perfectionism, that how can I live up to this soul calling if I'm not a perfect human? These three light worker wounds are holding you back, inhibiting you from stepping into your greater mission that's going to make life feel fulfilling, life feel on purpose, that's going to make you feel lit up, that's going to make you feel like you are living your divine purpose and soul calling for the greater good. You will be living for your God purpose, and it's going to feel amazing. And so how do you get there? Well, just becoming aware of those fears. Number two, acknowledging all the feelings that come up around it. And number three is processing it. Remember, you can use the voice with that. And then number four is embodying it. Embodying it. And then the fifth step would be to align your life. This would be lifestyle adjustments. So things that remind you of the past, let that go. We want to be living in the present moment in the wholeness and love that we are. As light workers, be around the light. As light workers, tune in to the light of every person you meet. These lifestyle changes are so important to be able to sustain this embodied human in Christ consciousness. So your calling is really important. Your soul is waking up. We're in the grand rising. Are you being called to sing out and sound out? Your sacred voice is needed here. This is how we're bringing God to the planet, the God frequency to the planet, by singing the frequency of God. You're needed here. Are you ready to step in? Are you ready to practice and participate in massive imperfect action until you realize it's all perfect? We are the one. We are the one creation of God. We all have separate, we're fragmented into these separate parts, but we are all the one that God Christed into creation in pure love. The ego is scared of that. These fears are inhibiting you to step in a greater way, to live bigger, to have bigger faith, to trust. So, acknowledge all the feelings that come up with this, and let's process them and then start embodying the truth of you. You got this. And if you need some support, schedule a breakthrough call with me. Free on me. All right, I will see you next time.